Hello, hi, I'm Vitul. I'm the CEO for Ice and Experiences and have a great opportunity to welcome Rod Jones for a quick chit chat. Over, please, Rod, welcome. And thanks for coming in.
Thank you for your hospitality. It's a great pleasure to share time with you and to look back on the industry, where it's been, where it's going, and delighted that Ice and Experiences is here in South Africa with 6 sites.
Yeah.
And I've watched your growth, and it's just wonderful to spend some time with you now.
Thank you so much. So, more to exchange views about South Africa, how to grow the industry more, and how to partner more across different countries, different geos, across different clients, so that we have a more macro level growth for South Africa and for Africa as overall.
Yeah, it's been an adventure getting into the industry almost 50 years ago, and from its fledgling state way back. In fact, the first conference we had, there were more speakers than delegates. And to watch now, as we've just come out of the BPESA conference, to see the scale, the size, it's been a really exciting adventure, not without its problems. I mean, if I look at our industry, we've had start, stop. We've had to learn as we go along as an industry, but I'm very proud of what our associations have done and the position that South Africa is now in the world of GBS and BPO.
Exactly, and thanks to you and the likes of you for building that strong foundation on which we've been creating more and more buildings. So that the industry as a whole, the GBS industry and South Africa as a whole, has been making those waves. And we were together in the US some weeks back,
yes.
And everybody has been talking about Africa. As we thought that we've scaled to a particular level. I think we've not even started over there. We're just starting to crawl. We need to learn. We need to run fast. That's what I think, the collaboration between what the years of experience which you have given to the industry and where you've taken the industry to a particular level. I think we need to encash that more and learn more from that particular perspective as to what else is changing. And that's what I think we've grown within South Africa. We started with a humble 240 seats. Today we have 6 sites. We have more than 4,000 people in South Africa itself and growing. I think that's not only because of what we've been doing for our clients. I think that's more to do with the industry, what the industry has been doing globally.
To look at what's been stimulating the growth, I think the association, BPESA, has had a lot to do with it, stabilizing the industry. Also our colleagues down in Western Cape,
Yes.
BPO, and also the foreign missions, the marketing, the communication, the relationships with the international analysts. All of that has given rise to, I think, last stats I was looking at, we're growing at between 15 and 20% per annum, and we're pretty much on target for that wanted goal of 500,000 seats by 2030. We still have a lot to work.
I think we'll do it faster.
And it's organizations like yours that are geared for that sort of growth and can absorb the high volume projects. So delighted to be sharing time with you.
Thank you so much. No, and you're 100% right. I think we work with organizations like BPESA and KBPO, and I think the work which they do at the back end to help us grow more. I think the confidence which they already build with respect to what the macro level South Africa as a country brings in, we ride on those micro benefits. And they've been doing the silent work at the back end, and we've been doing it in the front end with the clients. I think, and people like you've been doing juggling between all the parties together.
In a small way, it's networking, but I think one of the advantages that we've now got to leverage is, as you saw at the conference last week, some of the analysts and the observers coming through. To me, one of the most important panel discussions was those very practical criticisms of our industry and what we need to do to optimize the opportunity. I found those extremely valuable. And I know that feedback is going into the ecosystem and to stimulate that growth even further.
I think we've been working as PPP, the public-private partnership. I think that is evolving more and more as as an industry, and I think we've seen some successes over there. I think all the challenges which we discussed last week, those are the issues which will get resolved through that particular piece.
And I think those changes are accelerating now.
Yes.
And I think as government, both national government and provincial governments, are now seeing the benefits of job creation, youth employment, foreign exchange earning.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I think the lights are coming on that BPO GPS is an industry, a sector. We are, 350,000.
Correct.
And if we can take that figure of 500,000 by 2030, I think it's a significant component and contribution to the economy. And to the part that I'm very keen on driving is community and societal impact
Yes.
of BPO. It's not so much the bells and whistles of big corporate call centers, and it's what impact can we make at a community level when that agent goes home and maybe supporting 5 or 10 people in some cases. Yeah.
So we've already, with the 350,000, so we've touched and look at the attrition and people who've been through that particular industry. We've actually, as an industry, we've touched more than 3 million lives, 5 million lives.
That to me
That's
is what's really important, and that's why it's been one of my lifelong ambitions is to drive this model into the rest of Africa.
That's correct.
I've done seminars in 14 countries, and going way back to 2008, 2009,
Yeah.
there was a realization that there was a hunger for knowledge and information about call center, contact center, and BPO. And so it's taken all this time, and we discussed it the other night that the formation now of this federation of BPO GPS associations.
Yes.
We now have 9 countries who are committed to this. That soon should go up to about 14 countries by the middle of next year. And it's about information sharing. It's about driving ethical BPO and impact sourcing.
Correct.
And looking for ways and means in which our industry can impact societies.
Yes.
That's really where we're going with the federation.
We are there in the entire Africa. We are there in 16 countries within Africa. So the partnership with the federations and that's helping. The best thing about it is you don't have to reinvent the wheel. So South Africa has done it somewhere, Rwanda has done it somewhere, Kenya has done it somewhere, and that's how do you bring all those best practices, all those skills, and give it back to the society over there. I think that's what is emerging more and more. I think we, all of us are doing good, but we need to do better on that particular. We need to do faster.
You're quite right on that. In fact, if I look back on 25, 30 years that we, from the moment we started with the first trade association to where we are now,
Yeah.
we made a lot of mistakes. We went down some wrong alleys, we made the wrong alliances. But I think the formula is there now and it's solid. And it's the ability now to mentor other countries.
Yes.
And to share the experiences with governments, with investment agencies, with entrepreneurs, with investors such as yourself, to look for opportunities to start getting that message out there, BPO to Africa.
Correct.
And the services we can offer. I mean, across your countries, how many languages are you servicing?
40 plus languages.
40 plus languages.
Across some 14,000 plus people.
Yeah.
And more, and when you talk about 350 and 14,000 and all these things, I think we also need to figure out as to how do we work with the AI piece. I think that particular technology coming in, I think the empathy which we bring in as a human touch, I think that particular tango with the technology and human, I think that's what with the best practices coming across those countries, that's I think the secret sauce which we are trying to prepare, which should help.
I think you put a finger on it, that to craft that model, which is
Yes.
the high touch, high care, empathetic human contact, leveraging the ability with the technologies and AI. If we can get that combination
That's right.
I think with labour arbitrage and work ethic, I think we can take on a lot more work out of the rest of the world.
So what we are trying to do is in our kind of a program, it's not that we are driving, it's the agent driving that particular technology. So So the buy-in from that particular agent actually multiplies much more faster, because that's the one agent who becomes ambassador and goes into different countries and different all the aspects. So that's the way which we are driving, and they tell us, why don't you do this? Why don't you do this? So
Well, I'm hoping that 5 years from now we can sit here again and have another cup of coffee.
with some AI agent come sitting over here and discussing.
Quite possible.
Yeah.
Well, I hope I'm around in 5 years' time, but
You will be, and you will be.
and we can have that coffee definitely.
But thank you so much for coming in over here and giving your insights to us. I think, as you rightly said, Africa and South Africa both have still a lot more to give to the world. I think we've just started with the right combinations of the people like you who've been driving that particular piece, us as organizations who are driving the other side of the story. I think we can bring in more and more for our society, for our community, and deliver the output which the other part of the world needs.
Well, I think we need, as an industry, South African industry, to thank your organisation for having faith and trust in our country, in our people, and investing significantly. And we certainly hope to be able you're seeing the benefits of that.
Yes.
And then as we replicate this model elsewhere in Africa. So
Thank you so much. I hope we'll tread this journey together.
I look forward to that, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was Rod Jones giving us a special edition of him. Thank you so much, Rod, once again, for coming over.
It's been my great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.